Another thing we did when we were loons, before the advent of TV or quines, was to gang for a bike run on a Sunday. Sometimes we get to places that at that time were hine awa, like Rothay or Fisherford or Kilsalmond. At other times we set off for the coast, so jump on your bike and come with us on our Sunday bike run. On Sundays in the summer, we usually get for a run. It kept us out of mischief, and aye we had grand fun. Sometimes we pedalled on for miles and files nae very far, for our Sunday run was in Raleigh bikes, nae for us the luxury o' a car. The tyres were pumped up and the chain gin a licky a while, our clips were on and off we set to travel mony a mile. A sunny day with the wind in your back, can a wheel be beat, but just in case o' a squally sure, we'd wear oilskins aneath the seat. So off we set without a plan, we just followed our ain nose, and afore we kent it, ahead o' us the prop o' Icy rose. A bonny place to hae a look, but we hadna time to spare, and pedalled on to Tarves, wi' its bonny tree-lined square. The Aberdeen Arms and the library stand nae far apart. The squeal, the kirk and the bowling club mak Tarves look gey smart. Then off we furled down the hill, heading for our next port o' call, Pitmedden wi' its muckle house and its knockie village hall. We had a reekie round the place and a look at the Fidba Park, the tennis courts, the garage for local folk get work. But hunger pangs soon took their toll, but we couldna see a baker's, and headed for a fly cup for our all friends at Greenacres. Far next was a shout as we ins mere set off, head down and travelling at speed. Keep to the side roads aye was the plan, and leave to the lad in the lead. Through fine open country and round some gey nooks, as I break it and scored my hin tire. We'd been on the road for hours so it seemed, and my backside was feeling on fire. But just as I was beginning to pech, we come over the brow o' a hill, and down a big brae, a steep, steeny brae, the secht made my all heart stand still. Collieston was there in front of my een, wi' its bay, its rocks and the sea. A picture of beauty, if ever there was, that to this day has never left me. The harbour lay still wi' a cobble or twa, its history steeped in the shingle. The caves for the pirates hid a' their loot, the stories would mak your spine tingle. The Speldons so famous and the Gweed fisher folk brought memories o' times that had been. And if your luck's in on a fine summer's day, in the distance you can see Aberdeen. But soon it was time for us to move on and head for the top of the brae, and afore you could blink, down the hill we free-wheeled into Cruden Bay. The golf course wi' its rolling dunes, the greens like velvet clout, and would you believe, in Cruden Bay, a Chinese carry out. There's hotels that cater for golfers, the tourists and the likes, but there wasna a place that I could see for a puckle loons on Raleigh bikes. So we headed out the brig and stumped through the sand. We sweated, pecht and splutered, it fairly was hard gone. We sat there wi' our socks off and paddled in the water. We ate our peace and drank our ale and had a recht guid natter. The sun shone down, we lapped it up, a topper o' a day. We thought we were in paradise, nae just in Cruden Bay. But the sun began to sink recht down ahin the grassy banks, so socks gaed on and pints were tied, nae ony time for pranks. Gey hippet for hae and satisfied, we hobbled on the road, and then our first disaster struck, a flat tire begode. Fizz gaed the air out of the tube and the tire was down to the rim. The Sunday calm was broken, swear words and a face gey grim. But seeing the bike was upside down, mony hands to the job to jump, wi' a handy tin of patchin and a guid gone bicycle pump. So, sorted out, we a set off a bitty weary kine. The day'd been long but worth it, a day that we would mine. Our weary legs kept cranking, but we gathered strength anew, as the landmark we'd been looking for come slowly into view. The kirk o' Millbrex a welcome, its outline like a ghost, but here at last to our straggly lot, and secht o' the winning post. A cheerio, a laugh, a joke, forget the morn's Monday, look forward to the wick ahead, and to we're run next Sunday.